Hey everybody. So I just sat down and I'm like, what am I doing today? And I think for the next couple mornings, not this morning, but the next morning, the following one, I'm going to be working more on Young Hearts, on their playback rig, and just as like a refresher, just to kind of like catch my mind back up again. I just kind of wanted to, in real time, it's going to be ridiculous, in real time, kind of give a very terrible looking visual, so to speak, or drawing of kind of what we're trying to do. So here we go, and let's see what happens. So first off, current state of it is they're running one laptop, and pardon my, oh my gosh, this is gonna be terrible. This is gonna be so bad. Let's see. Let's just move that out of the way. So current setup, and I'm left-handed, so current setup is one laptop Intel, running the Ableton session, as well as Light Key. Okay. For years they've been doing that, and it's worked great. So to expand that more and to kind of future proof it, so to speak, we wanted to kind of we wanted to get bigger. So the future of this is three Mac Minis. So it would be basically it would be two Mac Minis, A and B, for redundant Ableton playback. Redundant. I'm just chicken scratch this all the way through. Okay, sorry. And then is times two, and then the third, which is C, would be what is that? What is that doing? I don't know what that's doing. Oh, it thinks it's a math equation, I think. C would be visuals eventually, and light cues for light key. Okay, so A, B, and C. That's what we're doing. And then on top of that, a lot of things, we're going to put a big PoE switch inside, which will power a lot of things and basically connect all of this together in order for anything to talk to one another, and have it all be on a network, which we would be using one of these guys. It's a little GLI net router, which would that would route everything together in order for things to talk to one another. It would allow us to screen a remote in to a computer. If we're on a laptop, we just connect on the same network and type in some things, and we could connect and see in real time what's going on in any of these computers. So the goals over here, goals is to have redundancy. Gosh, I'm terrible. Network slash remote ability, and then yeah, and then just to have what I've learned from Studio to the Stage is division of labor. So everything's running. So you have a session on A and B, and then lights and visuals on C. They're all, their own unit running whatever it needs to run. You're not putting all of these things into one system and then hoping for the best, even though silicon chips are great, but you just never know. So it's just one more level of security. So then those are some of the goals. Other goals is portability. We are going for two 3-unit fly rack cases from SKB. Let me draw these out. Try to, at least. Let's go over here. Let's see. We got one. And then they would stack on top of one another like this. So you would have, let's see, how did we do it? The switch. I'm trying to remember. We were going to have, I think, here, we were to have, I think, the Max here. This one was going to be, I think, the Play Audio 1 unit. And I think this was going to be power, maybe. And then down here is, whoa, that was terrible. Down here it was going to be let's see, the KVM switches. And then this was going to be the network switch that we got. And then I forget what was going to be down here. Because the thing what we're trying to do is, of course we're going to want to travel with both of these. But in the case of something simple and basic, if we could just run with one of these. So if we could just run with like the top one, which would have the computers, with the Play Audio, everything else, you wouldn't necessarily need. And I'm processing this out now because there's a level of this where if we wanted, say if we only had one, what could we do in order to still pull off what we need to pull off? And the max would be for playback, lighting and visual, everything's there. Play Audio would send the audio signal. We'd have power. If anything, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of networking things. However, if you brought the router, you can network to the computers, and then you can have those three compute. Well, not with this. You can make. There's 3 slots. 2's for LAN, 1's for WAN. But in here, you could change the WAN to a LAN port. So you could technically, I think, have 3. So that could work. So you could put all 3 Macs in there to where they're all connected onto the router, and then you can get to any 3 computers remotely over that network. So that's something. Another thing, let's see. So that's roughly what we got so far. And then we're going to do two, whoops. We're going to do two displays, two little like 10-inch displays up here. One was going to be for A, B, one was going to be for C. But the problem is with this setup and the KVM switch, KVM are only set up right now for switching between A and B, and then C you would have to remotely put on the screen through the B computer or C computer or whatever, if you want to visualize that. Or if you didn't want to do that, you'd have to have a totally separate keyboard and mouse, which is overkill. That's not great. So, two options: either do the first option, like I mentioned, or two, get another KVM transmitter for the C computer, and then have all three be able to be switched. That's the thing I didn't think about until now, or recently. So, that's that. But then another cool thing is what the network would allow us to do, the network switch. It's big enough, there's a lot of ports on there where it'll give us ability to send signal and connection to for AbleSet, for lyrics, all that stuff, which is nice. So, trying to think what else. Other than the two big fly racks, which is kind of new, it's just managing all the pieces, the cables and everything. The network part of it isn't that complicated once you get your hands on it and you understand the signal flow. So like the thing that's still tricky for me is the KVM switching. So for KVM, you have a receive box and a transmitting box. So the receive box has two USB ports on it for a mouse and a keyboard. So mouse and keyboard. Because that's going to receive what these are transmitting. So these are basically transmitting picture and keyboard strokes or mouse movement or whatever. So this is going to transmit your mouse, your keyboard, whatever, to or from the computers. And then over here on the receive portion, you will be able to, from your keyboard, switch between 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C computers, and to control whatever it is. So yeah, it's basically like a small little display switcher almost. Yeah, which hasn't worked yet because we didn't have USB cables, but we should be getting those soon because we weren't able to connect it. I mean, you could do everything remotely again because the router was set up and everything. So that's one thing. The other thing, yeah, it's just managing all the cables, the displays. Yeah. And then after that, it's just allowing everything to talk to one another. I also forgot. I need to turn that off. I don't like that. I don't like the pencil settings. Let's see. No. Off. I don't like it. Okay. All right. Well, so anyways, receive. So these transmit HDMI. So like say there's transmitter box And then next to this is the Mac. So the Mac HDMI picture out of the Mac into the transmitter. So HDMI to HDMI. And then that's also Ethernet powered as well. So there's connection from Ethernet that will go to the switch. Let's just do E for Ethernet. Which the Ethernet out of the KVM transmitter is transmitting Ethernet to the switch, which then the switch is basically a patch bay where it's patching to, it'll read saying like, oh, this information needs to go out to this other device. It's essentially, what's those telephone, a switchboard. It's like a switchboard, kind of. That's how I see it in my head. It's a switchboard where it tells things to go in certain directions, just a massive intersection for information and whatnot. And also on top of that, it's PoE, so it's power over Ethernet. So there's little wall warts that we don't need. It's essentially being, electricity is being sent through network in order to power some of these devices, which is less cabling. It's just like a one shot from the switch to the device for some things. So KVM switch has PoE splitter adapters that takes the Ethernet power and then splits it into 5-volt power, which is cool. And it also sends Ethernet, of course, which is great. So we have 3 of those. Might need to get a 3rd transmitter, unfortunately. Let's see. And then displays. We're trying to get the displays to work. The displays are almost like too small, and they weren't sizing correctly, which is annoying. For some reason, it doesn't like the HDMI. So that's one thing we gotta sort out. So I kind of wanted to see if HDMI to USB-C can work. I don't know if it will. That's a downside. Let's see. It's kind of all I have right now. So, if anything, the problems right now that we have, is C, Mac, KVM control needed, and then it's literally, I mean, at this point, it's literally just like putting it all together. That's all it is. So, yeah, this is fun. Again, I'll continue to give you updates and little video things. Again, I'm going to start this back up tomorrow morning and Thursday, and try to get some more stuff done and see what we could do. So, but I also want to go slow because Ashton, he's co-owner of this Young Hearts band, and so part of me doesn't just want to go full throttle, but also it's kind of just like piecing it all together with him, just so he's aware of like what's going on and connection and things like that, as well as myself. This is the first time I've ever done anything to this scale, but being in Will's boot camp and from studio to the stage has taught me a lot. Now I have a lot of this equipment in my hands, and so now I'm able to take everything I learned from videos, from notes, and everything else in between that from this boot camp, and put it into real life situation of building, future rig, and I'm super excited. So, but yeah, till next video, peace, y'all.